Assembling SUPPS spends hours. I don't know anyone that spends as long in the toilet. I don't know what's happening in there, but yeah, hours.
Welcome to the Ride Companion. Davey, where are we?
We are at Rowgate Bike Park.
That's
and
right.
We have brought our mobile studio.
That's right.
To record a first ever. It's my first ever outdoor podcast. Is it yours?
Yeah, I think so. This is really exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And we've actually already recorded it, and this is us recording the intro after recording it.
Yeah.
Because it was raining, and we apologise for any sound problems there might be.
Yep, we're going to go through some seasons on this episode.
It got sunny, though.
It did get sunny. But it's cool.
I was worried, actually, that the outdoor podcast, that the Nissan Primastar might not be as useful for podcasting.
You mean when it was bucking it down with rain?
Well, I mean, yeah. But we were under the awning, but it was just like the sound I thought might not work. I actually thought just the vibe might not be right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Turns out I love the vibe outdoors.
Dude, it's
Maybe
good.
we'll be doing some more, what is it called when you eat outdoors?
Al
Fresco podcasting.
It's nice.
The Al Fresco podcast.
I'm not mad at Al Fresco
No,
podcast. I'm worried that it's just going to slowly turn into sort of like a camping podcast. And we're going to
start wearing cargo pants.
Yeah, and like unboxing
fleeces,
unboxing titanium sporks and tongs and stuff. Fleeces, definitely.
Yeah,
Fleeces are on the up.
I'm keen for it.
Mate, what an amazing tool.
Yeah, big
Also,
up.
interestingly, has the video come out now?
Yes, it will
so
be
the
out.
video will be out about the mobile
What
podcast
this
studio and
is.
what it entails.
Yeah.
So, first podcast done.
Yes.
In the books.
Yes.
We used up 10% battery.
Insane.
We got cameras running off it. We've got sound equipment, soundboard, microphones.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We are off-grid.
Off-grid podcasting.
Really incredible, to be honest. Super stoked. I think it's come out better than we definitely thought it would.
And all of that is run off solar
All
as
of
well.
it's
So
been run
that's
off solar.
recharging now that the sun's out-ish.
Yeah. And while you're moving, it's recharging. So in theory, I could now drive back home to the north. I could charge my e-bike back up on the way up and set up and do another one.
What a tool.
I think it'd be cool to put out in the comment section, where should we go in our podcast mobile studio?
Yeah, and let me also frame that. We want value for money, all right? So we want as many hard hitter guests as physically possible.
Not Slough or places like that.
I mean Slough.
Sorry to everyone at Slough.
Yeah, you don't want to knock Slough. Slough's mint. Slough's got BMX track.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Yeah.
Slough BMX track.
That's the one. Hey, before we talk too much nonsense and people disconnect, because we've got a great guest today, obviously, Wyn Masters.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And it was a really good podcast.
Fantastic.
Should we just get straight into the show?
Yes, we should. Let's do that. So please hit like already if you haven't. Hit subscribe and come along on this cool little journey with us of doing more of these probable mobile episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun times.
Hope you enjoy the podcast. Wyn Masters, everyone. Welcome to the Ride Companion and welcome to the Wyn Masters episode. Thanks for joining us, Wyn.
Thanks, Wyn.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
It's
for bringing the rain.
great to be here in the new studio.
Do you know, it's been so exciting, the thought of doing one like on the road and outside, and then we've pretty much had sun all the way on the lead up to this, haven't we?
Yeah, it's maybe the sunniest period the UK has been through for a long time.
Years.
You've been loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was even nice yesterday, and we thought, no, we'll not do the episode
Perfect.
yesterday. We'll do it today.
Yeah.
Because we could do it with Wyn, and here we are in the rain.
I don't know if we're
it's
yet
working.
to know if we get like the atmospheric pitter patter.
It's just
of the
picking
rain.
up.
Yeah. It's just getting louder.
So it's an experiment. Bear with us.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Thanks for coming anyway.
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you
cheers,
for
guys.
waiting around for so long as well for the rain to clear.
Which it hasn't.
It's been here for 6 hours waiting for the rain to stop.
Well, at least you've been in the UK for this brief period of sun. Where have you been, dude? What have you been up to?
Well, yeah, I just came back to the UK in March, so I'd been living in Austria for a year, and then moved back here. So
The draw was too much.
Yeah, I heard the sun was coming. It took a while, but it finally showed, and everyone complained that it was too hot. Surprisingly,
That is literally our vibe in the UK, man. Yeah, it's either too hot or too cold.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
what we
surprised
do.
when it is sunny, and I'm like, shit, it's a nice day, and it's going out riding. They're like, how can you go riding? It's so hot.
We're like famous for moaning, aren't we, in the UK?
Yeah.
Why do you think it is? I mean, honestly, you've lived loads of different places, eh?
Quite a few now, yeah.
Where
Yeah.
is UK most moany?
Well, I probably don't understand enough German to really get the Austrian moaning.
Doesn't sound like moaning, does it?
No, but it can
Sounds
be
like
quite
anger.
aggressive. It sounded, yeah.
It's aggressive.
It's like quite a lot of aggression, but they're just having a discussion about the weather.
Yeah, it's actually a peaceful discussion. It's actually
Yeah.
it's actually chill.
I'm like, yeah, don't kill each other, guys.
Yeah. So what is it actually like moving around all the time and stuff?
I quite like it because you pick up the good sites of each place where you live, and you work out what's good there, and you never really get bored of one place.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't never get bored of your home, but you learn quite a lot living somewhere else.
See, I always look at your social media and stuff, and I think you're really good at like you're always riding a bike. So you always find people to ride a bike.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
It's pretty easy normally to connect with
Please,
fellow
dude,
bike riders.
please fill me in.
So, well, in Austria, I just started by going to the pump track. I meet some kids, and then I ride with the kids all the time.
Yeah.
One of them got real good. Now he wins all the Austrian pump track races.
Yeah.
No way.
So I just rode with those kids a lot, and then a friend has a bike shop in Germany, Flo, and his shop's called Floinger.
Yeah.
And he knows like all the alpine trails. So then when he wasn't working in the winter, and if it was a nice day, then we'd just ride and pretty much explore the whole area with e-bikes generally. And it's just opens up so many doors. And I don't know, you can meet people pretty easy if you've got the same passion. True.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. Yeah.
True. You get on with each other quite well. So it breaks the ice already.
Yeah.
And people will be like, or some people would message me like, oh, do you want to go ride here or do this? And like, sometimes you'd be like, oh no, I'm happy to ride where I live. But then most of the time I'll just say, yeah, I'll go and check what's there. Sometimes what they think is a cool trail is not quite a cool trail. But other times it's like, wow, this is actually really sick, and I did not expect this.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you just gotta. Yeah.
What blows me away is how many people you must know and have interaction with on even a yearly basis. Like, there's a number, isn't there? It's like Dunbar's number is 150 people you can remember the name of.
That's it.
Whereas I'm always blown away, even when I watch like your track walk videos,
Yeah.
that you know all of these people, and like you have, first names and information, and then you've got the extended version of that of just traveling and meeting people as you go. It's pretty wild, really.
I know I generally make the effort to like speak to people in different places.
Yeah.
But often I'll forget someone's name. But I think that's because of what you just said. When you know 150 names, you probably lose some along the way.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
every year you're meeting other people or speaking to more people. Often I'll have like the picture of their face in my head. I'll be like, what's his name? And then you're trying to explain to someone that you met this guy or whoever, and you can't explain, and that's a hard one.
Such a useful skill, remembering names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
It's
few
helpful.
people I really notice are really good at it as well. And when you notice they're good at it, you're like, oh, that's like a...
Have you got a thing you do?
No.
No.
I'm really bad at it.
Yeah.
Really,
Oh,
really
really?
bad. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, really
Yeah, I
bad.
got really good at it. I think from being on the road and meeting like bike shop owners, and the staff in the shops would always really appreciate if you remembered the name.
Definitely.
So I used to make a note, but like then I've just started to be able to just picture it, and I'm pretty good with names. Names and email addresses, weird thing, and postcodes. Because I kind of knew my way around the UK by postcode. So just that's where that shop is, and then I'd know like where the postcode is, which is rather strange, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm always blown away when you know so many people, and like I always think about that.
I think it's... would you agree it's because you actually really, really enjoy riding?
Yeah, and generally I'm always looking for someone to ride with.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be only riding alone.
Which
Yeah.
is...
Yeah.
That is the alternative.
Yeah.
Like I think it's probably something that a lot of people, as you get older, you do end up struggling. Not struggling with it makes it sound dramatic, but like you do notice you get to a certain age and it becomes harder.
Yeah.
You know, people move on, they don't ride as much, and like it's harder to just find people to ride. Like I ride on my own a lot more than I used to, definitely.
And I think, I don't know, as a professional rider, most of your riding is during the week.
Yeah.
And during work days. So then everyone's at work. This is like it's first world problem, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
But you're always like, anyone want to go riding? And everyone's at work. You're like, well, I'm going riding by myself again. But just trying to find people to ride with makes a difference, and you can share that stoke of riding bikes. And it definitely helps, like.
If I ride too much on my own, I notice I stop taking any risks or doing anything or like going quick. Yeah. I think I naturally dial it down some horsepower. Yeah. Lower Stark setting. I think you do, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. You don't want to crash by yourself and be trying to call someone to come and find you.
Yeah.
No.
100%.
Been there, done that. It's really crap.
Yeah, too right.
What has it changed a lot since becoming a father? I think last time you came on here was almost a year ago, pretty much just over a year ago. So how old's young man, little Vinny?
Vincent is now 18 months old. So
okay, so I think
a year and a half.
Yeah.
How long are you going to do months for? It's really relevant. I've heard people, because it used to annoy me when people said in months instead of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, he's 452 months.
Well, it starts with weeks.
But like, it's really relevant, isn't it? Because the change is so.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
Probably 2 years.
2 years.
You'd go. Yeah.
Two.
He's 2. Yeah.
Not 24 months.
Yeah.
How many months?
24 months sounds like a lot.
It does, doesn't it?
How many months are you?
Me?
Yeah, quick math.
Loads.
A few.
It's hard to do.
Too
isn't
stupid.
It? Yeah,
Too stupid. I don't know my 12 times table. Really.
Nah, I don't have that one. I don't have that one on lock.
No.
Yeah. So you had a baby when you last came on.
Yeah.
But now you have a
toddler,
an 18-month-year-old.
Now you're a qualified father.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more experience, but you're learning every day, and every day's a challenge.
Still,
or you have days where I've mastered this. The next day, everything goes wrong, and in all aspects, it's like 1 minute you're not watching, the 1 second you're not watching him, he falls over, and you're like, oh. Like, how did that happen now? And then you got to explain it to your wife. You're like, oh yeah, he fell over. Oh no! But he's fine. But of course, the reactions. It's your 18-month-old. But the sleep. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
But you get used to that, and you just get on with it. And
so how much of it is learning, and how much of it is getting used to it? Because that I always wonder that. You know, like I understand it's difficult, but like
I think it's learning what's important.
Okay.
Yeah, because like as an athlete, the only thing that was important before was you.
Yeah.
It's not a very healthy mindset to have, like me. Now it's like, well, I've got to look after him first, and then worry about myself later.
Do you think that it's especially difficult to someone who does like a sport for a living?
I think definitely. If they've never had a concept of the real life, I think one of my uncles sent a message like, "Welcome to the real world." That's all he said. He's like 90 years old, and he's a madman, and he's got, I think he had quite a few kids, 6 or so kids, maybe more, and he's a farmer, and he's like, he was a farmer from like 20, so just worked his whole life, and he's a battler, and he just loves it, and he's like, welcome to the real world, mate. And cheers, mate.
Did it feel that way?
It definitely is at the start. Yeah, it's welcome to the reality of life. Like I'm like, wow, a lot of people. You're surprised how many people in the world can manage this challenge.
Yeah,
because it is a big challenge, and it's a big change in your life. Like, but then that's when you learn and grow as a person. So,
what do you think you've learned? Like, what are a few takeaways from having a kid that you now move over into real life? The real world.
Just how little everything else I'm doing really matters.
Like I can imagine.
Yes. And
So it's perspective.
Yeah, like how much everything matters for him, you know, like, and how amazing the world is that we live in. Like, he's amazed by everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, whoa, so sick. There's a pigeon over there, and
That's
it's like,
cool.
whoa. And every time a truck, a digger, it's surprising how much the male mind, as of a baby or toddler, looks at wheels, diggers, trucks,
They're drawn
buses. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's ingrained somehow. And just pretty much, I don't know, like how much your perspective changes pretty quickly.
Mm.
I've noticed, like in friends, I've noticed that have had kids, they sort of become better at like, actually, they become better, honestly, at doing less.
Yeah.
At like less in general.
Yeah.
Like my biggest probably example is Bren, because he's my best mate, and I've noticed how he's gone from just rushing around, dude. Just everything is a rush. Everything is like desperately panicked and unorganised. To he's really settled into fatherhood. Like he's organised now, and you're like almost to the point where you're like, "What's going on?" I'm uncomfortable by it. Like, and he's happy to chill at home.
Yeah, before it was like a rush to do this video,
Get out of the
do
house.
that.
Yeah.
You think you have to do it, whereas now it's like, well, it's the only thing I have to do is look after Vincent.
Yeah.
And then to be able to have this job, you actually have time, like during the day, so we can go and do stuff after he's finished at nursery or whatever. And he goes to nursery, so then I have some time to do bike riding.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm with him for the evening. And then I normally end up doing my gym training or whatever, often at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like smoked, but then it's done.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't matter. I can do that at 10 o'clock at night. Here's the focus till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And once he's asleep, then I can go and do my stuff. So it's...
Mate, your dedication to the art, to the practice of biking is like really quite admirable. The fact that you know what I mean? Like you say, you're still like getting the gym session in at night. You're still out there hustling, riding every day. Like it's really cool.
It's not just for bike riding, I think.
Yeah.
To be fit and strong is like, even better as a father, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you try and every day improve, then you're growing as well, you know, like, and I can be a better dad because I'm stronger or fitter. We can do more stuff in the day.
Yeah.
And I can manage it, and then you can carry him all day. So sometimes you like for a while I was getting like a developed muscle on one side.
No, man.
On one side of my arm because it's a natural side to hold.
Really, yeah.
So when he was smaller, I would hold him like that. But now he'll often like sit on my hip more. But then when he was a baby, it was just like getting one side, and I got this massive muscle here on my arm.
No way.
Just because I was only using one side, but it was getting like real arm pump. And Verena, my wife, has tennis elbow from holding him.
No,
The opposite side.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's a very real problem for a lot of parents. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you literally do a sport that trains for arm pump.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine the software engineer dad. You know what I mean? Like, he's never in the
He's
bike.
not going to be able to carry him as much, you know, like, or do as many activities. And then it's, so you can be a better dad just from
That's great, man.
being really fit and strong. And then you actually feel better as well.
Yeah.
And then you can race better and everything.
Tough habit to break,
better,
isn't it? Like,
yeah.
training, I think, is a tough habit to break.
I think, for me, it's for life. You know, like you aren't stopping that. And when you're 90 years old, I want to be, if I make it to 90 years old, I want to be fit.
Yeah.
I don't want, so keep training and trying to be healthy, live healthy, eat healthy, everything, like the whole works. And then you take more notice also what you feed him because it's your son. So it's like, I don't want him to eat crap. So it's like, he eats a lot of fruit and heaps of berries and stuff. And I was like, well, this is expensive, but it's like, he's a living person, so he needs to,
I don't think you crave stuff if you're not fed it, though. Like, it's not like he's like, oh, I wish I could just drink Fanta.
He's never had it,
Yeah. Because I was never allowed it. And then I remember I didn't even know. You know those Burger King parties when you're younger? You know the ones I mean?
Oh,
Like,
mate, yeah.
you go to the
McDonald's ones.
The McDonald's or Burger King or whatever
And
it
you
is.
got the crazy hat as well.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Like I went to one of them, and it was it was like the first time I'd ever had
all
like
of
a
that.
Burger King or a McDonald's or whatever it was.
And then life changer.
Kind of, right?
Yeah, you
Because
can't.
you've never had
It's
food
a great
that crazy.
business model.
You
Hook
can't
your kids
forget
in
that.
at like
Dude.
4 years old.
How
with some,
how can you forget it?
You know, silly hats.
Coca-Cola, it's burgers, it's
Yeah,
chips.
yeah.
You've never had it before. You
Yeah.
just had like broccoli and steamed potatoes,
Yeah.
and like fish and stuff. Like, yeah,
Yeah, we'll get to that point, and then it'll be difficult to, like, explain to a 4-year-old that you shouldn't eat that all the time.
even I go in waves though, with like diet. So
Mm.
like at the minute, I'm allowing myself to have sugar, and
Mm.
I'm quite like
Yeah.
crackhead with sugar.
Mm.
So then I get more and more, and I allow more and more,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
I
yeah.
end up just eating it and not caring,
Yeah.
and then you crave it more. So it's like self-fulfilling. I guess that's yeah. You're thinking for someone else, aren't you?
Yeah, and he like froths on like blueberries,
Yeah,
which are not actually that sweet,
yeah.
but to him that's sweet. So he's like he'll eat like a whole thing of blueberries, but he's like 12 kilos, so he eats 500 grams of
He's
blueberries.
5% blueberry.
It's crazy, but then it's like and then you want to see the shits that come out. They're like black or blue.
Like aubergines.
Yeah.
Mate, it's a big learning curve, isn't it? You end up
It is.
being a stool expert,
Mm.
a cut,
Yeah, you
like
have
a
to be, yeah.
nutrition.
Yeah.
You end up all of these, like a psychologist, I guess, is like a maybe something that's going to come up more as
Yeah,
they.
as a grow, yeah. Yeah.
How has it affected, like your approach maybe to racing, for instance?
I've probably thought it would affect maybe more, that
Okay.
I would be more self-preserving. But I feel like maybe, I don't know, like, racing is almost like you have to switch off your mind a bit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of healthy, I think, to completely switch off from the other world of being a dad
Yeah.
and be racing.
Yeah.
That's maybe like a mental break, and you give everything to being a racer for that time, but then you're back to being dad afterwards.
So that happened before being a father, kind of. You'd
Yeah.
switch off anyway.
Yeah, but more so now because like being a parent, you're like responsible all day.
Yeah.
So there's not much let up in that. If you're like, especially if I'm away, or if my wife was away and then I'm looking after him, that's a full-on day. It's way harder than a day of training, like 100%. Like a day of training is so easy, especially as a downhill rider.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's such a hard day. I had to go to the gym and then go for a bike ride. Like, that's not a hard day. like, that is such an easy day. Try entertaining a toddler and keep him stoked the whole day. That's a lot of energy then. And then do your training. It's like, it's good perspective on like how easy my life was before.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, how little I actually achieved.
Come on, dude. You're
No,
doing good.
just because like
Now you can really cram the
I
days
had
in
so
more.
much time
Yeah.
to do stuff, but I'd just be relaxing. Or, you know, like, you'd go out for this big ride, you do your big ride, and then you're like, oh, yeah, I'll just go home and relax. And you're like, your whole evening is chilling out, watching
Yeah.
something on Netflix, or, like, not really doing much. I had a lot of time where I could do stuff. And now I structure my time, like, way more valuable, because I have a set amount of time before I pick them up from nursery, and then
Right, can we do a 12-hour day or whatever your working day is? Wyn Masters before, Wyn Masters the racer, and now Wyn Masters the father and racer. What
Yeah.
was the difference in time management?
before I would not wake up too early. So
Okay.
I was real focused on sleeping 8 hours or more.
What time we saying?
Yeah. What's
So normally I still now I go to bed too late. Now I go to bed too late for how early I get up.
why?
I don't know.
Did you get hooked into TV or?
I don't get that tired early unless I'm like absolutely smoked. And then I just fall asleep early, but that's when I'm like on the limit.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the nights it's like a downtime, you know.
It's because you can't go out and do stuff. That's what it is for me anyway.
Yeah.
It's like it's dark, so I can't go out and do stuff. So I have to do.
It's kind of relaxing. Yeah, I enjoy that later night rather than the early night and the early morning.
Yeah.
But then now I enjoy the early morning because every day the sun's coming up. It's like, and you're like, whoa, it's 10 o'clock. And I'm like, I used to be getting up at, like, if I had a decent sleep, I'd get up at 10 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're getting up at 6.
Yeah, or 5.
Okay, 5.
If Vince wakes up early, it's 5.
Right, we've got a massive, already going through the Wyn Masters days, we've got a 5-hour period.
Yeah, that I didn't have before. Where I was just sleeping.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm so tired. I was never tired.
Now it's tired.
Yeah, now you know what tired is.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So now we go to we go to Wyn as a father and a racer. You've got 5 hours. What are you doing in those 5 hours now?
You get him up, you have breakfast together.
Yeah.
Like, meal times are pretty cool because it's always together.
Yeah.
And then you've got to get him ready to go for nursery.
Yeah.
And often we'll go for a bike ride on the street before. He's got like a 3-wheel bike, so he wants to ride it around. Or we go. I've got a 2-lace seat for the front of my bike.
Nice.
It has a seat belt, so then he doesn't fall out as well. Like, he's not quite shotgun ready.
Yeah.
But I've got a shotgun already.
Nice.
Like,
You're ready, dude.
Really prepared.
Prepared, yeah.
Wheelie prepared.
Just sliding.
Is that what you said? Wheelie prepared.
Not wheelie prepared.
Oh, I thought you said wheelie prepared. That first Wheelie Wednesday is going to be a hit.
I'm trying to keep him off my socials.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've personally, this is my own opinion, but like, he can go on social media when he wants to go on social media.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not quite into the parent managed social media.
Fair.
Because he might not want that when he's 18 years old. He doesn't want his whole life on social media.
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
If I'm honest,
honestly, I hope in 18 years' time that there isn't much social media, because it's, on some sides, not great.
Yeah, I think on a lot of sides.
Like, developing as a child, that's not a good thing to have. Yeah.
Well, we're a weird
But
generation
it helps,
where we've had both, though.
Yeah, and it helped us have a job at this point.
Yeah.
But and so it is a good. There's a great side to it because you can follow everyone, you can message them, you can be in contact with all your friends. But if you're a developing brain, I don't think that helps your brain develop. As we
had all developing
scroll discussion before, just holding your phone and scrolling for an hour. You've lost an hour and learnt nothing.
Would you spend more time on your phone before being a father?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way
How
too
much screen time do you reckon you've got in a day?
I still sometimes do it, but not too much anymore. Now I try and put the phone down, so I put it face down, and then you won't get it for a while, and you'll be like, oh, I don't need it.
Yeah.
Like, slowly, I'm like, kind of, I don't know, you had some sort, like, you have to have some sort of addiction to that.
Yeah,
like,
there's no way of not.
It's an addiction, so
100%.
I'm
really mindful
cut
of
it
it
right
these days,
down. Yeah,
but it's not.
Yeah,
it's really hard to not. You know, I'm more mindful of those.
Yeah,
those things that you just go, oh, I'll pick my phone up.
Yeah,
traffic lights, stuff like that. Oh, check my. And I'm just like, no, like. Don't do it. Just
I'm in
really
waves.
Try. Yeah.
I'm in waves because I just did a week of nothing, no phone, and then I got on the plane and I was like a fiend.
Yeah,
I got on in the airport and I was just like, because I hadn't really looked at it much, I was just like,
It's
and then since I've used it more since I've been home, so it's like, but that's crap. Because
do you go for poos that you don't need so you can scroll?
No. I can't
I don't go for ones I don't need, but
me neither. Just say
me neither.
But maybe they drag on for longer than they should.
Yeah,
you drag them out.
You got to try and empty a bit more.
I don't drag those things out. I'm trying to be in and out.
Really?
But, yeah, I feel like I'm like a SWAT team when it comes to the toilet. I try and not spend time in there.
The squid team.
I remember my dad used to spend hours in there. But then
Sam Blinkenstop spends hours. I don't know anyone that spends as long in the toilet. I don't know what's happening in there, but hours.
So do you now?
Blanking plop.
Yeah, that's very good.
Plop.
Very
Stop.
good. Very good.
Enough.
You
Time
should
for
be
an
a
ad
dad.
break.
Hey, probably is. Do you have a quick ad break?
Let's have an ad break.
I'm really thirsty. Let's have an ad break.
Okay, done. And and welcome to the ad break.
Oh, the best place to be.
It is, and this one's good as well.
It's one of my favourites.
It is. Are you ready to start? You can start.
I'll start it. Okay, mate. But I'm gonna throw it back to you because you've started riding again, right? And you're riding a lot. It's almost impossible to get hold of you because all you're doing is out there pedaling the bike. Okay.
I am, yeah.
Which means you're gonna be recovering as best as possible.
It's the key.
And stacking gains.
I want to be.
Okay. All right. Well, the companionship bundle by Peak SUPPS is the ultimate all-in-one solution for your pre, intra, and post-ride needs.
Dude, that's right. We developed this bundle in collaboration with the wizards at Peak SUPPS to make supplementing as simple as possible. This bundle includes 5 specifically selected supplements plus some extra goodies. And we did actually work with Peak SUPPS on selecting these, didn't we?
And I think we nailed it.
I think we did. They've got so many. It was quite so many products.
It
was quite difficult. But I think we have actually narrowed it down to a mountain bike specific bundle.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we have a quick look at the bundle,
Mate,
see what's in it and how to use it, okay?
Yeah.
First up, start your ride off right with our go-to pre-ride drink.
Nice.
Activate pre-workout. Okay, it's available in 3 delicious flavors. This powerhouse formula is designed to enhance athletic performance and mental alertness.
Nice, dude. So mid-ride, you want to replenish your energy stores with our intra-ride drink essentials. That's quite a handful, that is.
Yeah.
Tricarb powder and electrolyte, multivitamin effervescent tablets.
Well done. You got through that one really well.
I did, and they're on the table.
Yes.
So these are packed with carbohydrates and essential vitamins, and they'll keep you going strong mile after mile, lap after lap, jump after jump. And there won't be a bonk in sight. Maybe a nose bonk when you're jumping, right?
Yes,
Brought it
mate.
back.
Well done.
Hey.
And after you finish your ride, treat your muscles to a dose of grass-fed whey protein.
That's the stuff.
Regarded as one of the highest quality protein powders on the market and available in delicious flavors. Ollie, what's your favorite protein flavor?
There are actually so many flavors.
There are.
But I like to keep things quite simple, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll just go with the chocolate.
Chocolate's good. Chocolate's up there for me. They actually just sent some samples, which I tried. And the new salted caramel, so good. But not just see, this is the thing, you can use this in a few different ways, especially with your whey protein. So yeah, you can have it in a shaker, standard. Yeah. Or maybe you can put it in some porridge.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
so you can use it in a variety of different ways, okay?
That flavour's trending, dude. Salted caramel is trending.
And you
Peak
can add it
SUPPS
to the
are
bundle.
right there. They're right there.
Yep.
They got their finger on the pulse, haven't they?
They have.
Right, well, that's not all as well. The companionship bundle... That's not all. The companionship bundle also includes a 600 milliliter protein shaker for easy mixing and our exclusive Ride Companion sticker sheet to add some style to your gear.
Nice.
Or your bike, whatever, yeah.
Mate, you can get all of this with free UK shipping included, and there's more. More.
There can't be more. We're going to have to get another table.
No, there's more. You can get 10% off with the code The Ride Companion, and that's not just 10% off the bundle, 10% off the entire site, mate. And they've got so much stuff.
Got a lot.
Yeah, you can use this as a base.
I found raisins on the site the other day.
There's raisins, chia seeds. I bought those off the site the other day.
Chia seeds on the site. There's literally everything you can need.
Almost everything you can need. Yeah.
So what was the code again? What was it again?
Sorry, mate. It's The Ride Companion.
Okay.
At peaksups.co.uk.
10% off is really reasonable, isn't it?
Mate, are we living the dream or what?
Get amongst it, companionship. Thanks, Peak SUPPS.
Back to the episode.
And that was a great ad. And now we're back.
Fantastic ad.
And I wanted to I wanted to ask you, because as you go through it, does it make you compare like bringing up a child to your parents bringing you and
Ed. Yeah, like probably a very challenging combo. Myself and Ed. Yeah, then you look back and you're like, whoa, they're actually legends. You're like, whoa, my parents are insane.
Yeah,
because now you see how hard that must have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can compare it to something.
So do you sort of semi-remember what obviously you remember what you and Ed were like
100%, yeah.
At like an age. Like, can you now imagine yourself at your age now looking after you and Ed?
Not really. But then the funny thing with parenthood is how quickly you forget the hard things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can be in the worst day ever. Like everything goes wrong. Sometimes like 100% things are going to go wrong. You can't be perfect. Nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
So you have the worst day ever. Next day is like perfect. Everything's amazing. You can't believe how good it is. And the feeling is unreal. Like the oxytocin release apparently between, it was meant to be between father and son. Is meant to be insane. Like they play with each other and they do like the fun things.
Yeah.
It's meant to be some crazy amount for each. So it's
Right.
both get it.
So it's like like a multiplier sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I
It's
just
like-
saw this the other day on the. It was a neurologist speaking about it. And
Right.
So the more
And-
stoked you are, the more stoked
Yeah,
your son's gonna
and
be,
he's
and
stoked.
vice versa.
Yeah. And we
Makes
play
sense.
together. The play with the father is normally like the rough play and the fun play,
Yeah.
whereas the mum is there with the love, so he gets the oxytocin from the cuddles and the love.
Yeah.
And if anything goes wrong, run to mum. But if we want to go and play and do fun stuff, we go to dad. It's quite interesting.
So you hear all of that. How much does it sort of like pair up with what you actually see as a
100%. But like,
sick?
yeah,
I love that.
but
yeah.
he still plays and has a big laugh with his mum.
Yeah.
But then we'll go and do stuff and he loves it, you know, like he's so stoked. And then because he's stoked, I'm stoked. So it's like, and then you just love to see them happy. Like nothing better than your child smiling at you. That's the oxytocin release, you know, like that.
So cool.
Which is
man.
crazy. Like I didn't think much about this before, but then I saw this thing about it with this neurologist in a podcast.
Living like the life that you live, traveling a lot, riding, living in different places. Did you always see yourself as being a father, or is it?
Probably not, but then also because of our childhood with my parents, I was always like, well, one day you want to be a father.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, you're traveling. It's not really the best lifestyle for being a father. But living in Europe makes it a lot more possible. Living in New Zealand would be a bit too hard.
Right.
It's too far away. And it's still hard, 100% sometimes. Like, you're away for too long. And then if you both work,
Sorry, mate.
if you both work, then it's crazy. That can be quite tough.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I've knocked the mic over. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
My apologies. I was sliding off the chair physically. I know, I've got
It must be the rain.
Is that any good?
Yeah, it's good. If you're both working, that can be a real challenge. But
Yeah.
then I think it's also healthy as well. Like, both my parents worked, so
Right.
I kind of grew up with the same model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the? So how do you mean? Sorry, we might have to. Let's go to another ad break. Oh, finally, we get to my favourite ad. I think it is probably my favourite because it's the easiest one.
Yeah, this one's easy, dude. If you've not got one of these and you're a mountain biker,
Yeah.
then what are you?
What are you, dude?
Yeah.
You're probably not cleaning your bike.
No,
You're certainly not. I didn't clean my bike before I got one.
I'm also quite guilty of it. To
I
be
mean,
honest
I
with you.
didn't even have an outside tap before I got
Did
a
you
WORX
not?
Hydro Shot. That's right. We're talking about the WORX Hydro Shot.
Yes.
I use it every single ride.
Yep. Same, mate. I'm with you almost every single ride. I'm going to say almost because that's the sort of guy I am. But I do try, and I still
Freestyle.
keep my bikes in the house. So I do have to make sure she's clean
Yeah.
because she comes in the house, you know?
Yeah, there you go. But it is so easy because you've
Yeah.
got the power share system.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the battery that comes out of, personally, my leaf blower,
Yeah.
my impact driver, my chainsaw,
Okay.
I can carry on. Shall
I
I
can
carry on?
carry on too.
Please,
We're
go
doing
on,
house
go on.
renovations at the moment,
Yep.
as you know, and I've got a few WORX tools in there. So I've been using a grinder,
Yeah.
strimmer, done the garden recently.
Nice.
Impact driver,
Impact
got one of
driver's
those.
lovely, yeah.
The tire inflator,
Oh, I need to get one of them,
that's
man.
really sick.
Yeah.
Hoover,
The Hoover's brilliant. I
and
use the
all
Hoover.
of it
I use the
works off
Hoover a
one
lot.
battery.
It does.
It's a dream.
How good is that?
Yeah,
right.
really
So
clever.
there's the difference between when I first cleaned my bike with a Hydro Shot.
Mm-hmm.
We're onto the 56 bar version, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, mate. They've added some extra power.
I've
But
got
it's
to
not
say,
too much power,
no,
which is nice.
it's absolutely perfect. This
perfect.
sounds like just something that you say in the adverts, and I bear in mind this is the adverts, but it is absolutely the perfect amount of pressure for a bike.
Totally.
Don't
yeah.
blow out your
It's
bearings.
Not going
you
to
don't.
bite your bearings, exactly.
Right, shall I read some information about it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so unlike conventional pressure washers with bulky body unit, mains connection, and garden hose attached to the tap, the new WORX Nitro High Flow Hydro Shot, so that's the difference. It's the WORX Nitro High Flow Hydro Shot, runs on batteries. It draws water from any source. So you can do it from a river in Wales when you're after the bike park. You can do it from wherever.
Yep.
You can do it. Bucket, pools,
bottle,
lakes, even seawater.
bath.
It's ideal for cleaning around the house and patio.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about bikes. I did just auto cue that and just read what it said.
But it's, again, it doesn't have to be used for your bikes.
You're
That's
right.
the cool thing. We use it around the house and outside
absolutely.
the house, you know.
And I do regularly.
Yes.
Equipped with WORX built brushless motor 2.0, this high pressure washer delivers excellent performance on powerful cleaning with a 220 litres an hour flow rate. That's a lot.
She's flowing.
She's flowing. Designed compact and portable at only 1.5 kilograms. You can take anywhere you need. It's got a 5-in-1 nozzle, actually also very useful.
Yes. Sometimes you want it on the pinpoint.
Exactly.
Clean the patio or something like that. Sometimes you want it a little bit wider. Maybe you're watering the flower beds or something like that.
Absolutely. This goes through all the other applications.
But we know them, dude. We can move on. We know them. And if you don't know them, head to uk.worx.com.
Yeah.
And if you enter the code The Ride Companion,
yeah, is that caps?
I have
to ask.
It is caps.
It's all caps, just The Ride Companion.
Yeah, just The Ride Companion. That's going to knock you 10% off.
Amazing. That's just on uk.worx.com.
Let's do 15% off.
Are you that powerful?
Yeah, we'll speak
to him.
You're
a podcast
master.
Well,
let's just do it for 2 weeks. 15% off. 2 weeks.
15% off.
2 weeks, 15%
uk.worx.com with the code The Ride Companion, all capitals.
And it's across the whole range, except the robot lawnmower. But everything else. So you could build out your garage a little
really
bit, man.
good,
Get yourself a hydro shot, get yourself a drill, grinder, strimmer, all kinds of things.
Sometimes when I feel lost in life, I actually just go on the WORX website because I can't believe they've got that many products. And
so many.
If I'm struggling for jobs to do, I'll go on the WORX website and it will actually lead me to the light. I'll find a job to do. They've got so many tools. It's insane.
Tool for everything.
Get yourself to uk.worx.com with the code The Ride Companion for 15% off for 2 weeks. I can't believe Davey's doing this, but he's doing it. He's pulling the trigger.
Yep.
Not literally, because we don't want to get the studio wet. Thanks, WORX.
Thanks, WORX.
Right, sorry, I broke the microphone. My apologies. We've set it up again. We're back.
We're back.
Can't
the microphone's back.
I can't remember. I can't remember where we were at all.
No, actually. I can't. We just hit on some social media, but I think that was off air. We were talking about. I can't remember. I don't remember at all.
We're in the depths of dad life.
We were in the depths of dad life, weren't we?
Yeah.
We're in the deep depths of dad. Would you want your kid to be a pro rider? Like, are you going to be a pushy dad?
No.
That's a great question.
I encourage him to do things that he enjoys.
Yeah.
And it's probably very hard for him to not want to ride bike, because normally you want to do what your dad does when you're very small. There's bikes everywhere in our house. So, and everything I'm doing is riding bikes.
Yeah.
So he just looks at me. But then it's probably cool if you're going and your dad's always doing something and you takes you biking all the time. It's like, I would think that's pretty cool if I was young.
For sure.
Yeah. And if my dad had all the sick bikes, I'd be like, oh, because I always had the shit bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool from that side. But then I wouldn't buy him the best bike. Because,
would you not?
No,
so
I wouldn't
why?
be like, he
why
needs
is that
the best
then?
bike. Because I don't think, like, at some point, you don't need the best of everything. And I think you have to learn through riding. Like, I saw this thing on Pink Bike, the Pink Bike Instagram. I don't know, you see it, where that kid had the $5 bike and they spent $45 on it to get it.
Yeah.
Riding Whistler bike. And I was like, yo, that's the sickest thing I've seen on social media for a while. That was in the depths of the scroll, but it was a very valuable one. You know?
Whilst your kid's like falling over, you're just.
But it was like that's how it should be. Like, if you start on a bike like that, I commented that he's going to learn so much more skills riding a bike like that than getting the best possible bike that the money could buy when he's 10 or 11 years old. You know, like that's not going to help. We all started on like hardtails, so we learned how to ride lines, how to ride the track, and you don't need the best full suspension bike when you're 10 years old.
We were lucky though because nothing was available.
Yeah,
So
100%.
and if it's
But
not
now
available, you don't
everything-
want
yeah,
for it. So
yeah.
you just have a shitter and you make it as good as possible.
Pros
don't
are on crap bikes.
you? Yeah, true.
All crap bikes.
True, dude. But I mean, like even you can get like 20-inch mountain bikes. I think
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
suspension.
Yeah. Dropper posts, hydraulic brakes, the whole thing. It's
Do you think that that's going to increase like the levels of riding, like kids
think it
learning
does,
to ride
yeah.
suspension earlier, or?
Yeah, actually, last week, come to speak of it, I was at a kids' coaching camp in Selbach, Austria, and one of the best riders was 11 years old.
No way.
really.
Yeah, and he was on one of those 20-inch, and I was like, wow, how does he ride that? Like, in the holes, it looks crazy because it's 20-inch wheel.
Yeah, like just actually everything is big. It's like being.
It's like everything's.
But when he does a jump,
everything's
it
a
looks
fest
crazy
series.
because it looks
for him. Everything.
it looks like a
huge.
BMX.
Yeah.
He does a jump, and he looks so small, and the jump looks massive.
Everything is massive. Isn't
Everything's
it?
massive.
It's kind of scary
Yeah.
because now it's like limitless. But I think back to where we were. I think you should begin with a hardtail with flat pedals. Don't clip in too quick because it is better for racing, but you miss learning all the basic skills. So I won't be rushing. Like I'll definitely be pushing him to stay on flats.
When did you clip in?
2012.
So you'd already been riding.
I was racing World Cups already for 4 years.
Wow. And what made you clip in?
A lot of people were doing it, and I was like, I've got to try to see the difference.
Yeah.
And so I just started racing with it straight away.
I remember
really?
Bernard clipped him when Danny Hart won Champery.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Like you saw that you can ride that fast in the wet and stay clipped in. And it's better to stay clipped in. Like you ride clips not to take your foot out. And on flats you don't take your feet out.
Yeah.
Like if you're taking your feet out on flats, it's more just because you want to rip the turn as a laugh, not to go fast. Yeah.
It is interesting. I feel like you can see people that look like you can see people that grew up on hardtails or on flat pedals or on like.
Yeah.
I think you can tell. I don't know, but I think that you can tell.
Do you think there should be some sort of age limit where kids start getting sponsorship?
Yeah, I think that's a tough one because
Yeah.
you want kids to be sponsored and supported. Like say the kid's parents can't afford it,
True.
then sponsorship's great.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be the ultimate thing to strive for,
Mm.
just for sponsorship. Like this, often the kids message and ask, how do I get sponsored?
Yeah. How many
Like,
DMs do you get asking for a bike?
Often,
It's a
quite
lot.
often, yeah. I'll just be sending one out tonight, mate. but no, like they often ask how to get sponsored. I'm like, just worry about riding and enjoying it first, and then the sponsorship might come.
Yeah, riding every day should be the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Traveling the world on your
Yeah.
bike should be the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the things that you think
And-
that you might want, like an energy drink helmet
yeah.
or like a.
Yeah, or the best brand new bike. That might not even improve your riding. It
So-
just looks cooler.
So do you think it can even be a curse? You know,
Yeah.
if you like got amongst it too early.
Yeah, I think so. Like if everything's given to you, then what more do you want? It's you lose the want.
Yeah, that
and
hunger's
maybe then you're
important,
chasing
yeah.
also the wrong carrot.
Yeah.
So like if your goal is to have this bike, that helmet, whatever, it probably doesn't help in the long run. And then if you got it too young, you maybe lost the drive, or you've like, I'm the man now. The ego gets in the way then, and ego's pretty dangerous.
Can be.
And you learn that when you're younger, because like, sometimes you do a race, you're like, wow, I smoked them all. And you're like, I'm the man. And then the next race, pretty quickly you've crashed or whatever, and then suddenly, or you've broken something, you realise I'm not the man. and that's the ego. It's like you can't really control that, like especially as a young kid with success.
So as you grow up, do you think parenthood's like a big humbling experience then as well? To add, because I think as you grow up, you sort of become more humble anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
Parenthood been a spike, or has it just been on that same trajectory of?
I think it's a spike as well.
Is it? Yeah.
Well, I was an athlete.
Yeah.
The only thing that matters was me.
Yeah.
So of course that's a very humbling experience. Suddenly the only thing that matters is taking care of my son.
Yeah.
And whatever I'm doing that day does not matter. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Got it to come.
Yeah. No. Well, I don't know.
You don't know.
No, I don't know. There's certain things people keep saying as I'm getting older. You just said something so like profound about you wanting to like replicate what your dad did, and that hit me in the feels a little bit. I'll be honest.
Really? In what way?
Because I just personally at this point in my life, like I'm not interested in having a kid.
Yeah.
And my partner's the same. We've obviously had this discussion quite a lot. We've been together a long time. And then a few people have said a few things, and you're just like, And then I saw, we were walking, and we saw the dad and daughter walking to school. We were walking behind them. That really stuck with me. And you were like, look at that. How cool is that? They're walking to school together.
Yeah,
You
they're
know,
just chatting.
And it's like, you don't want to accept it, but a bit of me was like, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Just one solitary tear.
Yeah. And then the other side was like, no, I just like doing my own thing, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
My life lacks meaning. I need to.
Do
I
it,
need to look after. So it wouldn't have to be even my kid, but I would love to look after.
Yeah, look after
child.
Wyns.
A child. I would. It sounds super weird, but I would.
Yeah.
I think there's something about it for me naturally. I'd really want to. I think.
There you go.
Don't know
Yes.
why. Actually, I wouldn't say it's about replicating myself. You know, like the urge to like reproduce is not like. Maybe we're in the weeds.
Yeah,
here.
no. But yeah,
I'm
maybe
alone on
some
this floor.
maybe some people do that for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
But then, and you also probably see that because they're pushing their kids to do whatever
There might
they
be
didn't
some-
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely that.
There you go.
That's I mean, Moto Dad is the prime
Yeah, yeah.
example, right? You know,
Yes.
they didn't make it. They have a kid just so they can get back out there amongst it and do all that stuff.
And they remortgage the house and
Living life through the child is quite gnarly.
buy a new engine.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
That doesn't. What about? Obviously, your kid would get to. We'll move on from your kid in a minute, but like, he'd get to do whatever he wants. If he gets into a different sport, it's a different
Perfect.
sport. You want him to
Yeah.
pursue whatever. Just from your own perspective, would you like him to get into bikes? Do you think bikes is the one?
It's a hard one because you don't want to see your child get injured all the time. So this sport can be pretty gnarly for that. Like, maybe there's some sports that are worse, motocross, so on, but it's still pretty bad how much you're like going to crash if you're a mountain biker, especially learning. Like, you had a lot of crashes when you're younger, but normally you get away with them. When you're younger, you kind of bend or
Going slower.
and you can take a crash better. I don't know, like same with him when he's young now. He falls over all the time, but it's kind of the process of learning how to walk and run, and often you do it too quick. So yeah, it's kind of scary thought that if he was a professional mountain biker,
Yeah.
because you don't want to see your own child injured, you know.
So now, do you think about your parents?
Yeah. But
You
my
and your
mum
brother.
was a horse rider, so
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
all
yeah.
like, I never broke a bone. That's what she says. But she would have fallen off a lot of horses.
So
And
is that where
she's
the jockey thing
75
came
now.
from? It's all making sense.
Yeah.
That's why the jockey test came from.
I went to watch the horse races with my cousin, yeah.
And it turns out you're a natural jockey.
Yeah. I won the jockey fitness challenge.
You have to be a Shire horse, dude. You can have one.
But I'm not going to be a jockey, yeah.
Yeah.
But I did, actually, when I was younger, yeah, I was quite impressed by jockeys, so I was like, it would have been a career choice if I was a bit smaller. And it's gnarly.
Yeah.
I think they fall off more than mountain bikers.
Do they?
Yeah, when you fall off a horse
You don't
in
want to
a
get
race,
trampled.
you can get killed
Yeah.
quite easily.
Yeah, you don't want to get trampled
So,
by
yeah.
one of those.
But I'm not sure. I would like, because I think I could help him
Yeah, that's it.
to
isn't
become
it?
a better professional than I was, if he would listen to his dad. Normally not. Like, at some point, you don't want to hear what your dad's saying.
Get to 16, start doing big whips.
You're like,
winning
nah,
races.
Dad, come on, I know. Yeah.
Shut up, Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Cole, what are you going to do? Wheelie?
Yeah.
Just imagine it. Like,
Yeah.
like, you just get to an age, don't you? And I was the same
Yeah.
with my dad, for sure.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him wheelie a motorbike when I was younger, and I was like,
That's cool.
it was like a moment, yeah. I thought it was
sick.
very cool. And then think about what your kid gets to see you do. It's insane.
Yeah.
I think about my friends all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And not you know that not many kids have that experience growing up. Like, how many kids have a dad who does mountain biking?
Yeah.
Very few.
Very
you drop
few.
them off at the nursery, they're like, yeah, his dad that rides a bike.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Right, so what I get from it basically is that you've done all of this time just completely in a pro cycling career, and now you've got a bit of perspective. Does that help you look at downhill in a way? Does that help you like look at the sport in a way?
Yeah.
Where do you think downhill's at right now?
Well, it's the racing's in a great place. Like, you have to admit, the races have been insane.
Yes.
Yep.
And the runs recently have been unreal.
We've had some all-timers, haven't we?
Yeah, some all-time runs, 2 in a row, Amaury and Loic and Valdesol, so unreal, and winning margins to go in the record books.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't expect at this level of the sport.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Arguably the best race run ever.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's funny to think about it. What downhill, how do you put it? Like, we're impressed by a massive winning margin. It's not the closeness. We're impressed of that feat of being that good and that perfect.
yeah, and
Does that
win
make sense?
every sector.
Yeah,
Like, that's perfection.
yeah, it is perfection. That's pretty damn close, isn't it?
Maybe he would say it's not.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what he
No,
thinks.
he
of that
doesn't
race
think.
run.
Yeah, I don't think he thinks it was perfect. He's like, no, that wasn't perfect. But then, as an athlete, that's your mindset.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what perfect is, probably. Like, would anyone say that was the perfect performance in a downhill race? There would always be that one thing. I was like, I just went that little bit
Down
there,
there. Yeah.
and that could have been better. So you're always trying to do better.
I haven't looked at the splits, but was his run the
Fastest.
the perfect run? Was it like
all-
every sector?
yeah,
All
yeah.
sectors won?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's really rare.
Yeah.
I think it has hardly happened.
So his was the perfect run.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But then he could say that he didn't ride that sector perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
To him,
yeah,
it's
in
not
his mind, it
perfect.
might not be. Yeah.
How
So
interesting.
what? Let's just take Amaury because he's proving to be quite a dominant force at the minute. From your perspective, what is he doing different? What are him and Loic doing that the rest of the field is finding hard to have answers to?
I think they just leave no turn unstoned.
That's great.
Yeah.
Like, they're so much in depth with everything. They're all in, and they've got big teams behind them that are putting everything in as well.
And when we
Which-
say
which
putting
is,
everything
like,
in, what we think, like, what is it? What is putting everything in?
It's like every box is ticked,
Yeah.
and they're on track. They're doing so much work with their team staff on track to find everything perfect, and their team staff's watching everyone. A lot of teams have that as well, but they do the work on the sections. I see them like pushing up often.
So that'll be you'll have a team member on a section, a key section, let's
Yeah.
say, and then they'll be watching everyone else go through. They'll find what they think is the quickest line, and then they'll just get their rider to do it until
Yeah.
they feel they're up to
And
speed.
they'll often try it 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
which is a lot of work to do, and it's hard to do because you don't come in the section with momentum. You've got to feel it out, and you've got to really give it to push, Amaury's like pushing up until the sweep rider's coming to close the practice session,
Yeah.
and Loic as well, quite often. And I'm like, they're dedicated to make sure that's perfect. They're chasing that perfection.
Yeah.
So they're maximising practice, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Like, they give everything. Like, and the other riders will ride through, maybe be like, yeah, it was good,
Yeah.
rather than chase perfect.
And then
So-
post practice and stuff, they're just
Yeah, back to debrief with the team. They're quite analytical with their whole team. And then, they just, if they do that during the race week, then imagine what the training week is like and everything else. So it's all focused on to get that winning performance. It's pretty impressive.
So so you'd say it's like a focus on the details that are really making the differences right now in times.
I think so, yeah. And then that's the stuff that I can see. So then what I can't see is what they're doing with the bike and what the mechanic's doing and everything like that. Then, yeah, there'll be a lot of work behind the scenes.
And for anyone else to come up to that level, you think that's basically what you need to do. There's no flukes anymore, right?
No, I think you've seen riders rise up recently, and they've done a lot of work to get to that. Like your Dakota or your Ronin. Like Ronin's always had a lot of speed, but he's now developed consistency, and that's taken time. It didn't happen overnight. And Dakota's slowly got there, and he's running the totally different setup to everyone else, which is like believing in the work he's done.
Yeah.
Like he has everything different to everyone else. Like the suspension is softer because he's got the high handlebar and so on. Like no one runs a soft fork, but he can. So he's obviously worked out what works for him, and it's working. It's like he looks like he's cruising. He reminds me of Josh Bryceland.
Yeah.
He's like kind of cruising. He hardly ever pedals, and he just tucks behind those handlebars quite often, and he's very good at keeping speed.
It's mega interesting, isn't it? Because like we've just literally talked about Amaury's the perfect run, the run that was perfect in every sector, or number one in every sector, and it's like it's quite hard not to just follow what's producing the results. Yeah. So to have the confidence to try something different when you can look with your eyes through practice, through semis, quali, whatever, race day, and you can see what is winning. Yeah. And then to just be like, nah, I'm having 80mm rise bars, soft front end.
Yeah, he does a lot of work. Dakota does heaps of timed runs. Right. Just does runs and runs and runs. It's like, I think it does, like normal week, it does 80 runs or something.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
So, not many, like, that's the big change I've seen in the last few years of sport, that people ride downhill more.
Right.
It used to be like, I remember like, riders wouldn't ride the whole off-season. They'd get ready for the first race, do like a 2-week block, and then they'd be ready for the first race, and they wouldn't do downhill other than that. Like now it's changed so much, like you just on your downhill bike all the time. If you look on social media, everyone's riding downhill. So that, and maybe Jackson and Jordan, they've changed that. Like Jackson grew up in the bike park, and he just rode downhill, and he got really good at riding downhill. I think he also, like, maybe a reason why he got so good at carrying speed was because he was so small. Yeah, he was so small growing up that he had to carry speed, so he had to work out how to generate speed the best, because his weight was less when he was a kid. He was always smaller than the other kids his age. Yeah, so he probably got better at those skills over the years, and then that's paying off now. Yeah.
And what you're saying makes sense as well in terms of like the nations that are doing well. They're like nations with mountains. Yeah. Like a lot of the people that even just around here, just because I know around here, the World Cup races here didn't ride exactly what you're saying. They didn't ride downhill bikes.
Yeah, or they have to go to Wales every weekend. Yeah. It's like the only chance to ride downhill in this country is pretty hard. It takes a lot of commitment and probably budget to do that as a parent, to take your kid and do that every weekend.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that photo not that long ago. It might have been Greg and Jackson stood together. It was so interesting because Jackson's like, I've never met him in person, I don't think. Yeah. But he's pretty small. That body type is quite different to a Greg or a Loic or a Amaury, especially.
Yeah, he's gotten stronger now. Like he looks slightly stronger, more like athletic. But he didn't have much muscle on him. But then you also, like, being a lighter rider, you don't need as much muscle. Yeah. So it's quite interesting, the body types that downhill suiting. I think it's changing. It's getting lighter.
Yeah, or jockey-like.
Yeah.
It's mega interesting because you will pay extra attention because you run the privateer project, I guess. So you're, you know, how are you picking riders that you're sort of like... Talk about the privateer project because it's mega cool.
Yeah, well, this year we've been doing it the last few years, and this year I'm pretty much running the whole thing now. So it used to be connected to the GT Factory Racing team, which doesn't exist anymore. And they finished up the team. Then I'm just running the privateer thing, and we have our own setup. Couple of mechanics the last few races, so we had 2 mechanics. And then we're supporting the best privateer from the previous race at the next race.
So it's results chosen.
Yeah, generally the best privateer.
Okay, got you.
But sometimes that's hard to choose, so then you choose like the most deserving or the best story. There's some storylines sometimes behind privateers that you can buy into quite a lot.
Yeah. So you've had some crazy, like, I can't remember where I saw it over the years, but people that have won previously.
Yeah.
Like, what are some examples?
Was Ronan one of those?
Yeah, Ronan was. Yeah. So I posted when Ronan won in Poland. I put a post up like of him winning the privateer thing. 'Cause I was like, this is pretty cool, and he's come a long way. It also shows his journey too.
Yeah.
Like, he's gone from the bottom to the top, and it's cool to see that progression. And just like we didn't give the same support then, we just gave some money, but it's still cool to see that he's come from being a privateer to being a World Cup winner.
But you remember, I guess you got to be one of the driving forces for you doing it is that you remember that
Being
money
a privateer,
then. Yeah, like you probably remember how much it would have meant even if you just got given,
100
€200.
euros. It would have gone a long way, and then it makes a difference. A small difference is a big difference to a privateer.
Butterfly effect, absolutely, yeah.
And then even mentally, they're like, wow, someone saw what I did. Like, that's cool. And then suddenly you're a little bit more confident in your own racing. Because the whole thing is confidence-based. And, like, once people start to take notice of you, then maybe that can all, like, snowball.
Yeah.
So what does a privateer get at this moment? So let's say I go to the next round and I'm finished wherever.
You're the fastest privateer.
Which obviously I wouldn't be.
You could be. I mean, you're welcome to try. Ludenville is the next World Cup.
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Get training, dog.
Yeah, good luck.
Get the Nissan out there. Get training.
So if you did well in Ludenville, then you might be the privateer for Montserrat.
Okay.
So then it would be up to you if you want it. You can have the whole bike. We've got the GT Fury, the same as mine.
Wow.
And you can have the whole bike if you want. And all the sponsors, everything's on it, same as mine. It's up to the rider if they want that, because some privateers have small bike sponsorships, like where they get a free frame or so on, and some of them get discount.
And is this a loan bike or it's?
No, it's yours after
you keep
that.
It.
You keep it.
Wow.
So yeah, we've got enough to give away one every race if we need to, but it's not going to be that. So like, luckily GT allows us to support people that don't ride GTs, because otherwise then we can't support the best riders.
Yeah.
So they're quite good with that. And often there's a race a week later. You can't change your bike and be fast in a week.
Yeah.
True.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So,
But all of these things are things that you've put in because a bike company's not going to know all of these. So
No.
I think it's mega cool that it's like it is your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want to help people to be able to get to where I am. Like, at the end of the day, I'm trying to help them to become a professional rider.
Yeah.
Like, that's their dream.
Yeah.
So if I can do that, that's a good thing. And if you see them do well after that, it's quite nice to watch, So, and I've been there as a privateer when I first started in 2008 and know how hard that can be sometimes. And that little bit of help made a big difference. And so we give them full support, the bike, we've got accommodation, food, whatever they need.
That's really
for the
quite
race.
something.
So they're like essentially in a team for a weekend.
Mate, it's easy to be a fan of Wyn Masters, but I've got to say you make it much easier with the privateer project.
Can
It's
that roll
mega
over
cool,
too?
that.
So could someone win it twice?
The next year they can.
Right, okay,
But
so
not
they couldn't go on the
same
bounce.
year. No,
Yeah,
no.
okay,
Because
right.
otherwise we're just helping the same person. But say we've had like a couple of times where we help people a little bit more, or like someone like because they go onto the bike, so we'll help them at the next race if they need a little bit of help. We've got a Swedish girl this year that we've been helping out, and she actually got a World Cup podium. So yeah.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So good. Right, you're going to be particularly sensitive to changes in the sport, I would say. especially with this project.
Mm-hmm.
And the semis must be making it harder for privateers.
Yeah, 100%. We don't have enough privateers racing the races because generally the cream rises to the top and the cream is in the final. So there's not often privateers in the final. They're normally the best privateers are normally the ones that are battling for that last final spot. They're battling for that top 30 result. And that's still an amazing performance.
They're battling with pros, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks bad because you didn't race the final. Like, you finished 31st in the World Cup. You get 0 UCI points. They don't give you any points.
No.
Nothing. And you're just not featured in the race.
You're not on the results list, basically.
Of the final.
Yeah, the final,
Yeah, semi-final results. Everyone will still be like, well done, great performance. Like, I will notice, but the uneducated viewer wouldn't see it. They'd be like, oh, you didn't even race. Yeah.
And then the end person that ultimately through racing we're trying to reach, if you're going to be a professional rider, you're trying to get logos, get news, get stories to people. There's not even really a way they can see, and really a lot of times, isn't there?
Yeah.
But it's certainly harder.
The visibility is pretty low right now. Like, if you're not a top rider.
Wyn Masters on semis.
We don't need it.
We don't need it.
There we go.
It doesn't add any value. So the value add they sold it to us was that there'll be more coverage, and then they covered it for one season and then removed the coverage.
Yeah.
So why is it still there? Like,
Either
make a final with a few more numbers, or just get rid of it.
I like Needle's LCQ idea.
Yeah, I think that's good. And maybe a final of 40 would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, we get a lot of opinions for the podcast, and it's just an overriding no.
Everyone has an opinion.
I've not heard many positives at this point. At first, it was like, what, more racing?
Yeah,
Sick.
at first, I was
Can't
super
wait.
excited.
And then actually, it's 6 hours of viewing time throughout the day. It's quite a lot.
And then the final's not as exciting because you've already watched
you're already
5 hours of racing, and you're like,
stuff.
Oh, here we go again.
Yeah. Would you be inclined to start a team as it is now in downhill? The privateer project, obviously, you're doing amazing things.
Team,
it's kind of a team.
Yeah.
But would you start an actual team with a semi and a blah, blah, blah?
It's pretty hard, I think.
Yeah.
It's a hard point to start. Like, you would have been better to start earlier than start now.
Okay.
Or you needed a lot of money.
Sponsors
you needed a lot of money, and how do you sell them all of that? Like, you need a lot of money to buy good riders that are going to be marketable.
Yeah.
And then that's hard to do without being able to sell them something,
Yeah.
So I think it's a hard point to start a team.
We were talking on last week's episode about
Starting your own team.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Hey, if you're in. No. So we just went to Formula E last week. A few weeks ago, sorry.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it was cool because it was mainly because of the hospitality element of it. The fact that you go there and you get treated.
MotoGP is similar, yeah.
Yeah, and MXGP, I guess, to some extent.
Is not as much, but still there.
It's still there. There's still something there, even in these countries where there's not much of an audience for it. So, and we were just sort of, I guess, thinking about how could we bring that element. How could you bring that element to downhill? Yeah. So that there is that hospitality element. Sponsors want to go to it.
We miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do miss it. There isn't really anything like that at all. I know Shimano have their big truck, which is, viewing platform or whatever. But
Discovery and Warner Brothers have hospitality.
Yeah.
So they're bringing in all their stakeholders to their hospitality. They had a pretty crazy one in Leger.
Oh, they did?
It was like a proper big building.
Really?
Yeah, next to the cross country, so you could watch the cross country from the hospitality.
Okay.
But
downhill,
no, there was nothing on the downhill side. No.
Okay.
There was VIP. There've been VIP hospitality, but that's from the event, not from the teams.
Yeah.
So the teams need to do that a bit more. But to get it to the point where you can afford to have another pit area or space to have hospitality and have a chef, it needs a lot of budget.
Yeah, it does.
And if you have more races, like at the moment, this year's the most affordable season. It's still expensive, but like it's the most affordable season. It's all in Europe, and there's one race in Canada, so it's pretty easy for a European-based team.
Yeah.
But then, say you make the series more worldwide, you need more budget. Then, if you want to bring hospitality everywhere, you need a lot of budget.
Yeah.
Highlight so many like things that you can picture as positives, but everything feels a bit chicken and egg. It's so difficult, isn't it? Like if you were given the chance to just make changes and change everything for the better, where would you even start?
Yeah, that's a hard one. Like,
Yeah.
like the racing is good.
Yeah.
So you just work out how to make it easier to view in certain countries. But then if you work for a broadcast company, that's not your focus, making it easier to view. It's like just selling it to whoever you can.
Yeah.
And you have to sell it, like if that's your job. So
it's broadcast.
So you've got to be
first.
on. Yeah. I think it's a broadcast is key for them, but then the audience, I think, is key. As a core fan myself, the audience is key. Like, I focus more on the core fan, so I lean to that side, and let's make the viewing the best for them. Let's have the best people, the more knowledge, and make it easier to view. Which I think, like some countries are struggling to watch it.
Yeah,
and they don't watch it anymore. People comment on my videos saying we watch WynTV because I don't watch the race and I just want to see what happened. I'm like, yeah, that's good for me, but it's not great that they're not watching the race.
No.
Like, that's a shame. And they're core fans because they're following what I'm doing. They want to hear what happened in the race. Like, you're not going to be an uneducated viewer and watch my video, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
I've noticed WynTVs have got, we'll go back to the fixing downhill because that's super interesting, but I've noticed yours have got a lot longer.
Yeah.
Is that because of this, or is there other elements of
my video guys changed this year, so now I have Angus McDonald. He's a Kiwi guy that he was filming Enduro GP Moto.
Right.
And he was like, our first video was pretty long, and I was like, oh, you're going to edit it down anymore? And he's like, no, we'll just try it long. So let's see. I was like, yeah, all right, we'll try it long. And then everyone loved it, or like 95% love it. 5% are like, when are you going to take it back to 20-minute episodes? I'm like, I interviewed all these people anyway, and we used to cut people out to get it to 20 or 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, so we cut them right down.
Yeah.
And we'd spend ages editing it, a lot more time. Now we just put everyone in and put everything in. So if my interview's shit, then it's on me. But
mate, I love WynTV.
Let's just try and dig into
so
each
sick.
race. And I'm a fan of my own sport, so I like to try and tell stories and tell it what happened.
Yeah.
It's rare insight, dude.
It is.
Yeah.
It's actual insight.
Yeah.
Actual insight.
Yeah, and often
it's
I
all that
race,
stuff
so
that yeah, exactly. And it's all that stuff that makes watching the race so much more interesting.
Yeah.
You still loving racing?
Yeah, I love it, but I don't think I want to do well. Like, I don't think it's sustainable to be a World Cup racer for the long term.
Yeah.
But being able to race and still qualify in the semi-final anyway is like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not doing that every race, but the last race I was closer to the final, so then I was like, I could still make the final.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
still
like,
got it in you.
having that belief is pretty cool. I knew that with a cleaner run, it's a sport of excuses, but let's make some. I knew that I could have been very close to being in that final. And then when you look who qualified 30th in Leger, it was Greg Minnaar. So I'm like, well, if I can qualify near Greg Minnaar, I beat him in the semi-final. So I'm like, this is cool, and just being able to do downhill races is like, it's the best atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like, I've raced enduro for years. I've done all the good years of enduro. I've done a lot of great enduro races. The experience is amazing. It's a lot of awesome riding, but nothing like the atmosphere of a World Cup downhill.
Yeah.
Nothing gets close to that. That intensity, everything's like all on one run. You've got to put it all on the line, and it's a lot of pressure as well, but then you're like, what else would I do than enjoy those moments, Like, And it probably is at the time not as enjoyable, but the after of the race is more enjoyable.
100%.
Like post race.
It's hard to really knock it as like something that you watch or do. And yeah, I noticed. I saw somewhere, and I could be off, but I think British Cycling have just reduced like. I think it's actually all mountain biking to like a second tier support thing, and you just wonder how we can be. I mean, it's only got
blind.
bigger. It's only got more
So
exciting.
blind, yeah.
It's so exciting. I don't quite understand it really. I don't know what does it need like.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they do that because it's not Olympic. Like downhill's not Olympic, so cross country everywhere gets more support. But then the other side to the coin is, would downhill be better in the Olympics? I don't think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
why?
Because then only if, say, I'm from New Zealand,
Yep.
there's like 7 great riders. Only 1 or 2 of them will go.
Okay.
So they're the only ones that benefit from the support from the federation.
Can you play our game real quick that we played yesterday?
Yeah.
You have to say whether it should be in the Olympics or X Games. Downhill.
I would say X Games just because, but I also feel like X Games has been at its peak and then it's gone backwards a bit. So I feel like when I was growing up, X Games was like, whoa,
Mate,
this
it
is
seems to be coming back.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
I hope it does
The
to the
beach
same
vibes.
level. Yeah.
So you'd prefer it to be an X Games than Olympics?
Yeah, it's more of an extreme sport and American market's big, so the X Games will probably do good for it.
Yeah, feel
Yeah.
you. Slope style.
X Games, yeah.
Yeah. And last but not least, enduro.
Enduro, well, I don't know. I don't really want it either. Like, I don't think it's an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna sit down and watch the enduro? You can't. And then
It's a fair point.
it's a great
It's a fair point.
sport for doing.
Yeah.
But it's not-
Participation, it's the one, isn't it?
It's not
really?
viewable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Mindful of time as well for you, dude.
Yeah, it's all good.
You're close.
like downhill, I'm with you. So that funnel effect of like money, sponsors,
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah, it could have negative effect. Could it also have positive effect? We had Chris Carl on the other day.
Yeah.
I was expecting, he's BMX, he's a core BMXer. He's as core, like BMX is like a sport that's very like core sensitive. It like stays true to its core and all of that. And he was 100% on board with Olympics.
Yeah.
Just because he just said, well, it gets more eyes on the sport. It's got to be better ultimately. I think he agreed that, yeah, like it would.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree maybe to get the viewership, but then I don't know. Are they gonna keep following downhill because they watched it once at the Olympics?
Yeah, I agree. I'm
Yeah.
not going to. I watched fencing the other day for a bit.
Yeah, and you're not.
I'm not going to go and watch World Champs.
You didn't go and follow the winner.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and you didn't order a sword.
Oh, you
I
got one of
have
those.
not ordered a
The
sword.
Temu sword.
Temu. Oh man, that's good.
So, yeah.
Right.
Temu fencing kit.
That was good. That was good. That all worked nicely. We really wanted to ask you about
Yeah,
Olympics,
for
and that just
sure.
worked perfectly.
For sure.
Shall we get on to listener questions?
Let's just do a few.
Yeah,
I
let's
have
do
no
a few.
signal. Let me try, but I have
Are you
no signal.
good for time? Yeah.
Yeah,
You've
I've got 12 minutes.
12 minutes of
Yeah.
listener questions
12
with Wyn.
minutes.
This is good. Right, let's get on to some really hard-hitting questions. Daniel Hanney, what's your favourite cheese?
Favorite cheese?
Yeah.
What would
I
I
can't
go
answer.
for?
You don't.
I do like the, what is it called? It's like
Winsleydale.
mountain cheese in Austria.
Wensleydale. Dude,
Stop.
come on. You can't. Like, I
don't
know
even
you
know
were
it.
just giving an example, but he did a good. That's second good pun.
Yeah.
That is second good pun.
I like some of the cheeses at the Austrian mountain huts
Dude.
because they're like from the little farm around it. They've got about 5 cows. They hand milk them. It's just like, it's real cheese. It's not
It's artisanal. It's hand milk.
It's like it's a little bit more than cheese from the supermarket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a man of the world speaking.
That is a
I
man
get
of
it.
the
Yeah,
world.
Could be a Swiss mountain hut, French mountain hut as well.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
Italian refugio.
Right, Angus Rue _DH has asked, is there any possibility of bringing the Privateer project to the BDS series, which is the British Downhill series, or a series like that? Like, it's probably a good question when it comes to sort of like feeding up to World Cup
the
level.
top. Yeah, possible, yes, but it's just there's only one of me, and how much can I do?
Family business.
Yeah,
Get Eddie on board. Maybe the kid can
Spanner.
Vince. Well, I do believe in your kids having a job and working.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it
Bit early,
helps.
maybe win, but
But yeah, mate, you're almost 2. You can start working.
family business.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Right. Okay. You've actually got so many questions, but we're running out of time.
Yeah.
James Small, how did you become the manual god?
I just used to do wheelies every day on the way to school, and
Not just Wednesdays.
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day's a
I'd-
wheelie day, bro.
Wow.
Isn't
Yeah,
it?
I would try and wheelie the whole way to school
Yeah.
without putting the wheel down. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You managed it?
We were close, but there's a lot of like gates and stuff to go through, so it's quite a way.
That's difficult because
And
that's
then-
out of your control, isn't it?
I remember one day I got like a little bit. I was trying to do tricks on the way to school, so I like go down the hill with my feet on top of the handlebars
Yeah.
and holding the seat,
Yeah.
and I ate shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
I think I
got
ripped my ass. Yeah.
I got a school ate shit story.
Yeah.
Actually, it was looping out a wheelie at the traffic lights directly outside of school. Everyone saw it, and you know, like at that age, it really matters.
Yeah, you
You
think,
think-
oh, it's the biggest thing in the world.
You
Yeah.
think, like, honestly, I was like, I'm gonna have to move to Spain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to change the name. I'm probably not gonna be able to stay around this area.
No,
now.
no. Yeah.
The gravel bike wheelies are really quite something.
Very impressive.
Very
It's
impressive.
got quite a good balance point in the gravel
Yeah.
bike. So I'm surprised how it takes me normally, like, I don't ride it regularly. So I like normally to just ride mountain bikes, but then I'll like jump on the gravel bike and try and do something. And I'll be like, it take me a minute to get the balance point, but once you got it, it's like so good. And it's actually rides real good. Like it's real fast on the pump track,
Mate, the
but it's kind of sketchy.
gravel bike on the pump track is so
Just
sick.
the bars are horrible.
Yeah.
Like that's not a natural position,
It's not, is it?
and it never will be.
No,
Yeah.
you are right.
Yeah.
You can do as many
Like-
miles as you want on
like
it. It
if
still
you-
feels like shit.
If you only ride a gravel bike, please try a mountain bike as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
You might like it.
Yeah.
Powder Fanny asks, is it your fault Ed is the way he is?
My fault.
Yeah.
Nah, normally the second child is just more crazy.
Yeah, you think that's the case?
Yeah. It's,
Growing up
it's
was-
true. It's true, yeah.
Yeah. Growing up, that was always the case?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
He was always the loose operator.
Really,
And,
yeah.
and actually when he was maybe 4 or so, he nearly drowned. So maybe he's like, well, I can survive that. So, yeah. Huh?
Yeah, good answer, dude.
Really good answer. Please no more.
I had to save him, I think.
Names.
Did you save him?
No, I didn't really like save him, but I just had to tell my parents that he's drowning.
Oh, you did save him.
You
So,
saved him?
yeah.
How quickly? Did you wait a bit? A few more bubbles?
No. It looked quite catastrophic.
Really?
Yeah, dived into the deep pool and couldn't swim.
Wow. I got a
So
listener question.
He was underwater, yeah.
At Davey. World champs predictions.
Well, this is a good one.
Thanks.
Um,
This is a good one.
yeah.
Are you heading out?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be racing. Yeah.
Sick.
So, let's go.
There we go.
We're going to be doing
Win
some,
for Worlds.
live commentary
All right.
teaser.
Yeah.
Like it.
We're going to do
Yeah.
commentary.
Yeah.
Well,
Alternative commentary.
Yeah.
I
Watch
like it.
along.
Yeah.
watch along outside in the rain.
Yeah, I would have to go. Loic is the best at the World Championships,
Yes.
but Amaury's on form, and they both live in Andorra, so it means more to them now.
It's like
So-
UFC head to head.
Yeah, it
Is
is.
that what you're saying? Yeah.
And then Aloris lives in Andorra as well. Hasn't been having the best season. A breakout Worlds ride could be good. So I could easily see a French lockout on that podium.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to go past.
So if it's the UFC poster, Amaury,
Loic would be the main,
okay,
The McGregor.
because he's
Yeah.
the multiple time world champion.
okay,
So he's going to be the head of the poster.
Okay.
And then there'll be Amaury on one side and Loris on the other. And they've been
undercard.
They've been that at Leger World Champs. Same 3.
Okay.
So yeah, Andorra, I think hard to go past them.
What's on the undercard? What are the loose units that could take a one-off race? Puncher's chance, or whatever they call it.
I'd love to see Dak get a win.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, he's been progressing well. So Dak, Ronan. Ronan would be exciting if he won Worlds, you know. Yeah. Like you can imagine he's going to be all in, 6 Red Bulls deep, trying to navigate his way down the mountain.
He really lives that brand, doesn't he?
Yeah, like first rider I've seen that truly lives and breathes the sponsorship. The rest are like, oh, this has just got water in it. Yeah, just water. No, actually, it is just water, this one. But yeah.
Well, yours is beer, but
yeah. Oh, yeah, thanks, guys. That's why I'm talking so much. Yeah,
mate, wicked. I've loved this podcast. We started off in the rain, we've ended in the sun. Life is good.
Life is good.
Wyn Masters, you're the man. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Lovely day in the UK, isn't it?
It is. Can't complain.
Obviously, if you don't already, at Wyn Masters on the gram.
WynTV.
WynTV
on YouTube.
On the YouTubes.
Yeah.
And throw a comment, throw some likes, and yeah, everyone's living.
Cheers. Yeah, I felt like that was almost too short, so yeah, we have to do another one on a sunny day.
Whenever you want.
Anytime.
It's a sunny day. What are you on about, dude? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.
Cheers.
You say peace and love.
Peace and love.
Yeah, dude.
Mate, what an episode.
Brilliant. I thought you were really great, Davey.
Mate, and I thought you were even better.
Thanks, dude.
Better than normal.
Oh, cheers.
Hey, how about we tell our lovely podcast community to hit subscribe here.
Yeah.
Click on the video on Olly's face.
That's right.
Click on the video on my face.
Yeah.
And follow us at The Ride Companion on Instagram.
They can like and comment as well.
Please do.
I'm going to try and get this energy and I'm going to bring it into next week.
Let's fast forward to next week's episode.
Done.